Hello again. We are going to quickly talk about how to edit your Twitter profile. I'm using the Modern Lessons early page here. We haven't done much tweeting or anything yet, but this doesn't matter because you really just need access to your Twitter profile and that's about it. So I'll let you log into your Twitter profile right now. Don't forget your username or password. And now once you load up onto the screen, you'll see you get your standard Twitter stream, and you can scroll as much as you want to view your tweets. But let's say you want to make yourself look a little better. See how all these people have icons over here, like Edweek and Zoho, they all have these custom little avatars. We can have that too. All you have to do is click on the Me button on the top, and you just mouse over here and click the big blue plus button and say Add an Avatar. So we'll just do that, Add Avatar. And then we'll just change the photo. We'll upload a photo that I just happen to have around. We'll say that looks good enough. Hit OK. Sometimes this can take a little bit of time because Twitter can get a little slowed down. Then we also might want a background, a nice background image for our profile. And in order to do that, you can just hit Change Header. And we can just upload a random image that we like. And you can obviously shrink it or make it a little larger. It'll show you exactly what it'll look like. I just chose a pretty boring random background, so we'll just hit apply. And there we go. So the header is now changed. And the next step here is to talk about the other settings that you can have for your profile. So our name here is Modern Lessons, and you're supposed to enter your real name, so I'll change it to Jeff Dunn. The location, we're currently in Cambridge, Massachusetts, so we'll just put that in there. The website, that can be your blog or a site that you like or whatever you want. It's just handy, especially if you're a business, but if you're a teacher or a government official, definitely be sure you're aware of what is being put here, especially if someone else is running your Twitter account for you. The bio, this is you get 160 characters to talk about yourself, and this is just my short bio. I can spell. And it even shows you down here you have 134 characters left. So be sure to fill that out. I think I read somewhere that 60 to 70% of Twitter users don't have a filled out bio, so be sure to be one of those people who do. If Facebook is also your thing, then you can connect it to Facebook, connect Twitter to your Facebook, where every tweet you post will also be simultaneously posted on your Facebook timeline. That can be handy if you manage a bunch of social media feeds. Be sure to check out our other lesson about using Hootsuite, because that lets you update Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and all the other social networks all at the same time. It's even easier than connecting Twitter. So now we'll just hit Save Changes. And there you go. So there's a few more settings that we can check out, but our profile is now at least updated. So our username, you can always change your username. It has to be available though. So you couldn't just change your name to Britney Spears and it won't be available. So here, is Britney Spears available? Oh, username is already taken. That's too bad. You can always update your email address in case you need to, in case you get a different address. You can add a location to your tweets. That's useful if you tweet a lot from your phone. If you are in a developing country, then that can be extremely useful, especially if you're doing it by text message. Not all feature phones are GPS enabled though, so that may not even work for you. But it's useful if you're using an iPad or an iPhone or an Android device. Always useful. So we'll add a location, because why not? The tweet media is basically how you would like to have your Twitter stream appear. So if you would like every tweet that you look at to automatically show the image rather than having a link to view the image, then that can be useful for you. But for this part, it's sort of about what you're going to be tweeting about and what you want to see. So it talks about displaying media that may contain sensitive content, or mark my media as containing sensitive content. So that can be anything that you think is not really safe for work, the old NSFW, or just is not appropriate for an entire audience. If you wouldn't show it to your children, then you probably want to mark that media as sensitive content. Tweet privacy. Some people want to tweet and only get invites for followers. So if you do this, if you protect your tweets, people will have to request to follow you, and they won't be able to see your tweets unless you approve them. So that's good if you want to sort of there's a program called Path by Dave Morin that is similar to that and basically a closed off social network. And it forces people to invite themselves into your social network. Whereas currently on Twitter, the open nature of it lets you sort of see everybody's tweets, which is the fun part, I think. Tailor Twitter based on your recent website visits is literally means Twitter puts a tracking cookie into your browser and follows you around your website, and then will basically suggest people to follow or brands or companies that you may have visited. So for example, if you went to the Gap website, the Gap.com website, then it'll probably recommend later for you to follow the Gap and their various Twitter accounts to learn about sales and that kind of stuff. Here you can do a little two-step process in case you need to reset your password. You can require personal information to reset my password. That's always handy, and I would recommend you using that, because then if someone hacks into your account or tries to hack into your account, then it's a little harder for them. Country, obviously select the country you're in, and you can always download your entire Twitter archive, which is pretty cool, and this is a relatively new feature. And what this does is send you a file, and then you can click on the file and literally view your entire Twitter timeline from start to finish, or start to current. Now we'll just hit Save Changes, and you have to punch in your password to save your changes, and there we go. So you should be all set. Now you're ready to go start tweeting. You can just click this button and it'll bring it up. I just updated my Twitter profile. Go me! And here you can click a button that gets your location. It says I'm in Medford, Mass, which is sort of close. We'll try Cambridge, Mass. There we go. And now we'll also add in a picture of our little logo, and we'll hit tweet. And so now let's take a look at what that looks like. There we go. See? Ta-da! And now you can see my username is updated. It shows my location down here, and you're all set. I hope that made sense to you. Feel free to rewatch it if it didn't.